Today's lesson is called Camino de Santiago, the walk of a lifetime. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to continue talking about the Camino de Santiago. It's the walk of a lifetime. If you've got some money and you've got some time and you're not afraid of flying, hey, head to Spain and have the walk of your life here, the walk of a lifetime. I guess you could also describe it as a hike. The hike of a lifetime. If you're into that sort of thing, we talked about going to Spain there, and if you don't want to be hustled and bustled around on buses in Madrid and Barcelona and places like that, you might want to consider going for a walk along this place. There are several routes. We were talking about the French route last time, which goes through the towns of Pamplona and León.
There you go. The most popular route to follow when you're on the Camino de Santiago is called the French way. And like Roger said, we followed this path or this way through Pamplona, then León. We saw a lot of cool stuff, and then we ended up at Astorga, which had some really cool houses there. Anyways, this is all sounding good to me. Why would you need a tour guide? Go ahead, follow the French way. You can't go wrong. It sounds like there are some atmospheric cafes and plenty of fun things to do. It sounds like you can have a relaxing time, a fun time. You can do anything you want, and you won't have to deal with your tour guide or getting on and off the tour bus. Who needs that hustle and bustle? It's kind of stressful, isn't it? Anyways, folks, with that, let's go ahead and take a short break. But when we come back, we will start discussing the second part of our article called Camino de Santiago, the walk of a lifetime.
The second most popular Camino route is the Portuguese Way. It starts in Lisbon, the home of several UNESCO sites, and covers mostly Portuguese territory before ending in Spain. The city of Coimbra, known for its 730-year-old university, is situated along the way, as well as Porto, a great place to try some port wine and take in some beautiful waterfront scenery.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 Portuguese， 这个字是形容词，指葡萄牙人的、葡萄牙语的。例如 Portuguese food has a lot of different flavors and ingredients. 葡萄牙料理有很多不同口味和食材。另外，这个字也可以当名词，指葡萄牙语、葡萄牙人。举例来说 There was a Portuguese in my class when I was in college. 我上大学时，班上有一位葡萄牙人。接着我们看到名词 waterfront， 指城镇的滨水区。例如Let's have some fun at the park on the waterfront this weekend. 我们这个周末去滨水公园玩吧。另外，这个字也可以当形容词，意思是滨水区的。举例来说 The waterfront hotel has great scenery over the lake. 这间滨水旅店拥有最棒的河岸风光。
Okay, now remember we're talking about El Camino de Santiago in today's program. And last time we talked about the French route, which goes through Pamplona and León. Well, now we've got another route that you can follow. It's also part of the Camino de Santiago. And the second most popular Camino route is the Portuguese way. So anything having to do with Portugal is Portuguese. Do you speak Portuguese? Eu falo português. I speak Portuguese, for example. And you could say that Portuguese could describe the wine. You like Portuguese wine? Do you like Portuguese culture, etc.? So yes, this is the Portuguese way, having to do with Portugal, which, as you know, is right next to Spain.
There you go. Moving on. Yes, we've talked about the French way. Let's move on to the Portuguese way. It starts in Lisbon, the home of several UNESCO sites, and covers mostly Portuguese territory before ending in Spain. So here we've got the French way and then the Portuguese way. We don't exactly know where the French way starts, though it sounds like it probably would start in France or would cover ground in France. But we do know for sure that the Portuguese way is very Portuguese. Yeah, most of the ground you're going to cover while on the Portuguese way is going to be in the country of Portugal. So yes, it says here this way covers mostly, or for the most part, Portuguese territory before this particular way does end in Spain.
Yep, it covers lots of territory. That means it's in the country of Portugal for most of its route there. It covers mostly Portuguese territory. But you're starting in Lisbon, remember. So Lisbon, of course, is the home to several UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So you might be spending a lot of time in Lisbon there, and you may end up at the end of your vacation before you even start because Lisbon is home to so many of those UNESCO sites. What is that? The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So they recognize sites all over the world, like in China or Mexico or Italy. You get the idea. So to be home to, or it is the home of, means that those things are there in Lisbon. And mostly just means over 50%, maybe 60 or 70% of the route is in Portugal.
Anyways, now the city of Coimbra, known for its 730-year-old university, is situated along the way, as well as Porto, a great place to try some port wine and take in some beautiful waterfront scenery. So there you go. Okay, if you're on the Portuguese way, there are some great things to see. First of all, the city of Coimbra. This place is old, man. Get this. There's a university there in Coimbra that is 730 years old. That's an old university. The United States is not even half that old. Oh my goodness. Anyways, there's Coimbra and then also Porto. It's a great place to try some wine, some port wine. Yes, port wine, port, comes from Porto. It makes sense. So there you go. Try some wine, but also take in the beautiful waterfront scenery there.
Scenery, the things that you can see when you're on a trip. This is a non-count noun, so don't say sceneries. Scenery. I enjoy the scenery of Nantou County here in Taiwan, for example. But, of course, you're in Portugal there, which is next to the Atlantic Ocean. So you're going to see some waterfront scenery. You're going to see the beach and maybe some cliffs and stuff like that. They will all be part of the waterfront scenery, or the scenery that is right next to the water, which would be the ocean here. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson. Let's listen now to the second part.
For travelers looking to stay closer to nature, the Northern Way may be the best choice. It starts in the Spanish city of Irún and takes you along the country's beautiful northern coast. Sandy beaches, quiet fishing villages, and hearty seafood are some of the attractions that draw travelers to this route. On the other hand, if you're looking for a good workout, take the original way, with its mountainous terrain and sloping paths. It was also the first route to Santiago de Compostela, which was taken in the 9th century by King Alfonso II of Asturias when he went to pay tribute to the newly discovered remains of St. James.
第二部分我们看到单字 hearty 这个字是形容词，指食物丰盛的、大量的，像是 After a long day working in the fields, Dan required a hearty dinner to satisfy his hunger. 在田里工作一整天后 Dan 需要一顿丰盛的晚餐来满足饥饿。另外，这个字除了上面的意思，还有以下3种含义。第一，指衷心的、热诚的。我们可以说 First of all, I'd like to thank you for your hearty welcome. 首先，我想要谢谢你们热情的欢迎。第二，指健壮的、精力充沛的。例如 The hearty men in the village went into the forest to hunt for their families. 村里健壮的男人为着家人去森林打猎。第三，指尽情的、痛快的。举例来说 When he saw the embarrassing picture of himself, the man gave out a hearty laugh. 当他看见自己出糗的照片，便尽情地大笑起来。再来，我们看到名词 terrain 指地形、地势。例如 The rocky terrain in this area is very difficult to climb. 这地区多岩石的地形非常难攀爬。或是 The explorers had to cross mountainous dry terrain. 探险者必须穿越崎岖干枯的地势。接着，我们看到片语 pay tribute to 表示向点点点致敬，公开赞扬点点点。例如 The festival being held will pay tribute to the soldiers coming home from the war. 这场即将举行的庆祝活动将向征战归国的士兵们致敬，或是 The politician paid tribute to his grandparents in the speech that he gave. 这名政治家在演说中公开赞扬他的祖父母。最后我们看到单字 remains， 这个字是名词，指遗骸、遗体，做此意时很用复数形。举例来说 The remains of the people who died in the fire were taken from the building. 丧生火海的遗体从建筑物里搬了出来。另外除了上面的意思，这个字还可以指历史遗迹、残骸，像是Many tourists visit the area each year to see the remains of the castle. 每年有许多观光客造访这个地区来看城堡的遗迹。
Some people, like me, they love beautiful waterfront scenery. They love the beach and stuff like that. But some people like nature, raw nature. So for travelers looking to stay closer to nature, the Northern Way may be the best choice. So we started with the French way, moved on to the Portuguese way, and now we've got the Northern Way. By the way, if you really like waterfront scenery, sure, the Portuguese way is the way to go. But if you like nature and you take the Northern Way, don't think that you won't be able to see some great beaches as well. I want to add that there. The Northern Way is great for nature, but don't worry, you'll see some beaches as well.
Now, it starts in the Spanish city of Irún and takes you along the country's beautiful northern coast. And you can see sandy beaches there, quiet fishing villages, and hearty seafood. Those are some of the attractions that draw travelers to this route. So maybe you're not interested in the French route. Maybe you're not interested in the Portuguese route. But you might be interested in the northern route or the Northern Way because you've got the beautiful northern coast. It's got sandy beaches there and quiet fishing villages, not big cities like Leon or places like that. And also, if you're into seafood, which would not be surprising if you come from Taiwan, you can expect to have some hearty seafood meals. These are some of the attractions that draw travelers to this route. Of course, hearty here means it's a full, fulfilling meal. You've got all sorts of things, appetizers, a main dish, dessert, and stuff like that. It's hearty, it's filling. You'll feel really satisfied after you have this meal.
There you go. Sometimes you eat a meal and in 1 hour, let's say, you feel hungry again. Okay, that meal was light and it passed through you quickly. And yes, you want to eat again. If you have a hearty meal, on the other hand, you don't feel hungry for quite a while. You've got that food in your belly and it stays with you. It is hearty food. Now, on the other hand, let's say you are a nature lover. You like to go out into nature, but the most important thing for you is the hike. Well, on the other hand, then, if you're looking for a good workout, take the original way with its mountainous terrain and sloping paths. So there you go. If you want a workout, you want a good hike, take the original way.
Workout here, that's a noun. It refers to when you get some exercise. The verb phrase is to work out. 2 words, okay? I'm going to the gym to work out. And that's 2 words, but if I say, I'm going to the gym to get a workout, then workout is a noun and it's 1 word. So yeah, if you want to get a good workout, or if you want to work out and, you know, break a sweat and stuff like that, take the original way. Okay, so here's another choice here. It's got mountainous terrain, which means it involves mountains. Mountainous is the adjective describing something to do with mountains. Nantou County in Taiwan is quite mountainous, for example. Or I could say Nantou has mountainous terrain. Terrain here refers to the features and characteristics of the land.
There you go. That's the original way, okay? That was the first way, okay? When people were making their way to the final resting place of St. James, or what they thought was the final resting place of St. James, when people started doing this, okay, they took this way. This is the original way. Yes, it was also the first route to Santiago de Compostela, which was taken in the 9th century by King Alfonso II of Asturias when he went to pay tribute to the newly discovered remains of St. James. So yes, that's why they call this the original way. It's the first way that people took. And if the first pilgrim here was a king, how about that? It was King Alfonso II of Asturias, and this was back in the 9th century. How about that? And yes, this king, this pilgrim, went to pay tribute to the newly discovered remains of St. James.
To pay tribute to, that just means to go there to show your respect for someone. I guess maybe he went there and got down on his knees and prayed to God. He paid tribute to the remains of St. James. And this is actually, I guess, a dead body here, the remains of St. James, although it's his grave there, so I don't think he went there and dug up the body. The remains were in the tomb there. That would be too gross, I think, to dig up the grave there in order to pay tribute to it. That's really weird. That's really strange. But remains usually refers to what's left over of a person after they have died. It doesn't mean they've been cut up into small pieces or stuff like that. It just could mean the whole body itself. The remains of someone, like the remains of the dead relative, were kept in the morgue at the hospital.
Anyways, let's go ahead and take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be wrapping up the second part, day 2 of our article on the Camino de Santiago.
Although the Camino de Santiago started out as a pilgrimage, you don't have to be religious to walk it. The joy of walking and discovering such natural and historic sights makes this a journey of a lifetime.
Okay, in the last part of our lesson today, we're wrapping things up here, talking about the Camino de Santiago. So it begins by saying, although the Camino de Santiago started out as a pilgrimage, you don't have to be religious to walk it. You don't have to convert to Christianity, or you don't have to convert to Catholicism in order to take this walk on this trail. Okay, it started out as a pilgrimage. It was for religious people to go look for the remains of St. James. But nowadays, people kind of do it for fun. They want to get some exercise. You'll probably meet people from all over the world, and you don't have to be religious. And you could still go if you're Muslim or Buddhist or Zoroastrian, whatever, you can go.
There you go. Anyways, although the Camino de Santiago started out as a pilgrimage for pilgrims, you don't have to be religious to walk it. The joy of walking and discovering such natural and historic sights makes this a journey of a lifetime, i.e., a journey that you'll never forget. So go ahead. Follow the Camino de Santiago. You don't have to follow the original way. You don't have to follow the northern way or the Portuguese way or the French way. You can do anything you want, but one thing's for certain. Whichever way, whichever path you choose to follow, you're going to have a great time. You'll remember it for the rest of your life. This will be the journey of a lifetime. All right, folks, with that, our lesson is now finished and in the books, and it's time for you guys to hear from the Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始介绍了第2受欢迎的朝圣路线是葡萄牙之路，那这条路线的起点是在里斯本。课文用到同位语 the home of several UNESCO sites 来描述里斯本，说它是好几个联合国教科文组织遗产的所在地。那这个同位语也可以把它当作是从关系子句 which is the home of several UNESCO sites 省略了 which is 而来的。好，那我们这边其实是要介绍 home 当发源地所在地来解释的意思。好，这个意思呢，它可以当可数或是不可数名词。那常见的用法有2种，第一种是用 be the home of 加名词来表达是什么的所在地、发源地或是栖息地等等。home 在这边是当可数名词用，例如 The restaurant is the home of the schnitzel. 那间餐厅是维也纳炸肉排的发源地。好，那第二个用法是 be home to 加名词，表示是什么的所在地、栖息地，或是表达某地拥有什么什么。好，那这个用法呢是表达说某人或某事物归属于某地。这时候 home 是不可数名词，像是 Iceland is home to many amazing waterfalls. 冰岛有许多令人赞叹的瀑布。The city is home to millions of people. 这个城市住了好几百万个人。好，那么读到课文第三部分第一句，他说到Although the Camino de Santiago started out as a pilgrimage, you don't have to be religious to walk it. 虽然朝圣之路最初是为了朝圣，但你并不一定要是虔诚的信徒才能行走。那这边我们来学习 start out 的意思和用法。好，第一种呢是表达开始从事，那么后面可以接 as 加上名词来表达说起初是怎么样，从什么开始做起，以什么样的身份或是状态开始。像课文就是这样的用法。举例来说 They started out as co-workers but later became close friends. 他们一开始是同事，但后来成了亲近的朋友。好，那么 start out 之后也可以接动词 ing 来表达一开始处于某种状态或是做某事的意思。例如 He started out wanting to be a lawyer but became a photographer instead. 他一开始想要成为律师，却成了一名摄影师。好，那么第二个用法是以 start out 来表达启程、出发。例如 If we start out at 6 a.m., we should get there by noon. 如果我们早上6点出发，应该中午之前就可以到那边了。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Mostly. I use my car mostly for driving to work and prefer to take the train on weekends. Scenery. Switzerland's beautiful scenery attracts visitors from all over the world. Hearty. Having a hearty breakfast will help keep your energy up throughout the day. Workout. My workout routine is not very consistent. I only go to the gym a few times a month. Mountainous. The countryside is more mountainous than the city. Remains. The woman asked for her remains to be buried on top of the mountain after she dies.
Discussion Starter starts now!
And now it's time for our discussion starter. Hey, Roger.
Uh-huh.
Would you try going on a pilgrimage? Why or why not?
I would not like to try a pilgrimage because I'm not in good physical shape, and besides, I'd rather hang out in one of the big, loud, noisy cities of Spain, like Barcelona, like Madrid, like Granada, or places like that, and just hang out, drink coffee, eat flan, and talk to people in Espanol. How about you?
I think it would be interesting to try a pilgrimage because maybe I'm not the most religious person in the world, but following along with people who do have that strong religious feeling and conviction, I think that could be inspiring. Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.